The legends have a lot to say about Shakur Stevenson. In this video, I get into release footage that shows guidance being given by one SOG, Andre Ward, and Terrence Bud Crawford, Omaha's very own, and a strange beef between Shakur Stevenson and Andre Berto. This is your boy JG. This is the Punch Report. Let's just get into the content. So, Artem Harutyunyan was the opponent for Shakur Stevenson last Saturday. There's been a lot of conversation after this bout, which wasn't a pay-per-view bout, with a relatively unknown opponent for Shakur. But this is kind of the pressure that he's put on himself. One, he's an extraordinarily talented fighter. And one of the things I think that gets missed is, and it could be perceived negatively, but if you're Shakur, there's a reason why the scrutiny is as high as it is. It's because you're really good at what you do. People can say, I want to see people get brutally knocked out, or I want to see just two guys throw disregard to the win and just punch the shit out of each other. I totally get all those things, and I offer no argument to those things. But bums don't get criticized like this. That's the reality of the situation. Now, I'm not going to go into it long-winded in this video, but in my last video, I did mention the only real issue with Shakur Stevenson is he makes promises that he can't keep. Point blank period, hard stop. Now, in this video, I have more guidance and a difference of approach for Shakur. Now, at the time of me recording this video, I did see a tweet from Shakur that was encouraging, but I still want to cover the base as if I'm going off the videos that dropped from the post-fight locker room where Terrence Bud Crawford and Andre Ward were in the locker room and they were just giving guidance to Shakur. Starting with Bud Crawford, the one thing that he mentioned got mentioned multiple times throughout the telecast and was also mentioned by his head trainer, lead trainer, which is his grandfather, to say, hey, Shakur, yeah, you figured it out. You're managing and controlling distance beautifully. I need you to start getting behind that jab, change levels with the jab. That's going to set up the rest of your offense. And I think Shakur's thinking, I'm going to walk this guy down, apply that passive pressure, force him into a mistake where I can counter him and catch him with something and then get him out of there, instead of being more assertive offensively, utilizing the jab like was mentioned before. Now, Andre Ward had something to say that I feel like was also really, really sound advice. And that was, you got a guy that's fresh, rounds one through three, maybe four. Then he starts to fade. The truth tells over time. The skill discrepancy starts to show itself. It is your responsibility to go out there and go put work on damage on the opposition at that point. If you got to take a risk or two, that's fine. And I'm paraphrasing, but when he starts to show that he can't really hang, you need to capitalize on that. And one of the things that concerned me about this particular video, and it's short in nature, you guys can check it out on Twitter. I might put it in here if I feel like cutting it up. But is Shakur has a response for the guidance that's being given. This is Terrence Bud Crawford. Undisputed at 140 pounds. Undisputed at 147. Challenging an undefeated champion in Madrimov at 154 pounds. An absolute killer and a finisher, switch stance guy. I can go on and on about Bud Crawford. Andre Ward, winner of the Super 6 in the craziest period of time in boxing, at the height of competition. Really, if you think about it, number one or two forever pound for pound, that being Andre Ward, depending on who you ask. If these are the people coming to give me guidance, Bud Crawford and Andre Ward, I don't say shit. I just nod and say, okay. And if someone has a pen or paper, I will say, can we get notes on this? Your offerings at that point, if you're Shakur, they're not needed. We saw the fight. They're not needed. It is unacceptable, in my humble opinion, that you have access to guys like Dre Ward and Terrence Bud Crawford and one question guidance post-fight, because you already felt away, right? You were already kind of signaling that bout should have went a different way, or I should have done more. You promised a stoppage within the bout. That didn't happen. Now that's over. Now you're in the locker room. If you have access to Terrence Bud Crawford and you have access to Andre SOG Ward, if they come to you in the locker room, they sit with you and they say, hey, look, this is what I saw. This is where you got to kind of clean up, go back to the drawing board. You don't say anything at all whatsoever. Identify the opposition is fading. Get behind the jab, establish your offense, and finish where you know it's appropriate. Pause. That's all you need to do, because that's the guidance that was given from Dre Ward and Bud Crawford. Now, the tweet that I was mentioning before was a video of Shakur Stevenson, and he was running, and I think the caption was, essentially him paraphrasing what Bud had mentioned to him. Like, hey, I got to let my hands go more, say less. So he's taking the guidance. It took some time for him to probably go back to the drawing board and say, hey, look, listen, that was sound advice. I rewatched the fight, whatever the case may be. But when you're in these situations and scenarios, especially when you're super talented like Shakur, you have to adopt a learner's mindset despite your talent, skill, or ability. Yeah, we know you're exceptional at this. We definitely know that. But you have to know for yourself, I am not where I would like to be, and challenge yourself every single day in that regard. If I have access to some of the best minds when it comes to the application of this sport in the world, I'm not offering much other than, yes, okay, thank you, and then we go over this again? Despite the fact that I'm Shakur Stevenson, a 3-division world champion, undefeated, and the sky's the limit, and I'm young, right? Despite those things, I still need to I need to have a learner's mindset. And I don't know personally, I'm not in the camp, but I don't think he's far away from that. But like we mentioned before, internet is not your friend. There's been a lot of talk going on. In my opinion, you're not in a bad spot. Less is more. Take time, study, take the criticism very serious from educated minds, not bozos who just say whatever, and go and improve. And I think two of the best people you could talk to from a boxing, a purist standpoint, are going to be Terrence Bud Crawford and Andre Ward. So shout out to them. Now, to wrap this video up, why is Andre Berto going at Shakur Stevenson like this? Now, I could be answering my own question with the amount of shit that Shakur speaks on sometimes, but I don't know if I have the energy or wherewithal to chase all the interactions down. But my man threw this tweet up on the internet, and I was like, this is a super violation. I'm gonna put it up here in the video, but I wanted to read it real quick because where's Andre Ward been to be talking crazy like this? Hold on real quick. So Andre Ward, he has a video. The video is from the Rio Games, I believe. Amateur bout, Stevenson lost, or whatever the case may be. He's upset, he's crying. And Andre Berto states, and I quote, "Bro ain't stopped crying since the Olympics, shake my head. Newark, New Jersey, this Shaw King, no one of y'all was walking out of the arena." Can somebody help me find out why Andre Berto was violating Shakur Stevenson? All right, y'all, this is your boy JG. This has been the Punch Report. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you guys have subject matter experts in your camp, guys who have proven their ability to go up the ladder, beat champions, be great, overcome adversity, Bud Crawford, Andre Ward, you got to accept that guidance, and it's got to be gold to you. We out.